Hi everyone, I'm Nora Crone. I'm a violist in New York City and a musician's vocal dystonia recovery advocate and also the co-founder of the TIL Project for String Players. And today I'm going to be talking about why recovering fully from musician's vocal dystonia by yourself is so difficult and what alternatives are available. Now, before I get into that topic, if you're new to this channel, I suggest that you check out some of my previous videos where I go into more detail about how I recovered from dystonia and the principles behind the approach that I now use to solve it. I'll leave you some links below, but just to summarize, after about a year of working more or less alone in my recovery, I met a violinist named Sophie Till who helped me completely reformulate my technique, and that's what ultimately enabled my recovery. Now, I'm not a scientist, and the mechanics of dystonia are far from clear even to experts. But what I can say firsthand is that as the conceptual framework of my approach to the instrument changed, and I repeated the sound, logical movements that form the basis of truly healthy playing, my brain gradually abandoned its dystonic response. Today, I play entirely symptom-free with much more ease and reliability than even prior to my injury. Recovery was very hard, but it was 100% worth it, and I'm infinitely grateful to have had a guide. So if you've done some research on vocal dystonia recovery, you've probably come across at least a few musicians who have recovered completely alone, which in itself is remarkable and inspiring. And I thank these musicians deeply for giving me hope, especially when all other sources I could find insisted that recovery was impossible. But the thing to know about trying to recover alone, and I'm sure none of these musicians would disagree, is that it's very, very hard, and I'd like to discuss why. First of all, while the brain has been thoroughly proven to be plastic, that is, it's possible to change it through intentional practice, we need a very clear picture of the experience that we want in all of its precision and complexity in order to ask the brain to produce it reliably. And especially in the case of dystonia, which we often experience as almost a kind of movement amnesia, it can be very hard to figure out by yourself which of the innumerable movements and structural components that comprise playing a musical instrument are the correct ones. Furthermore, at least in my experience, in the case of an injury, and especially musicians' vocal dystonia, we've often absorbed information about playing that's inaccurate and even downright harmful. And we need to replace those concepts with healthy, functional ones in order to really recover. And the more confused our brain is, the less likely it is that we're just going to stumble on the knowledge that it needs just by experimenting. The second reason it's so hard to recover all by yourself is that while the information underlying healthy playing is the same for everyone, the path through that information is unique to each person and should really be guided by someone who can assess what piece of information is needed at a particular time and how that information needs to be presented in order to be beneficial. There's really no one-size-fits-all approach to delivering the knowledge that we all need to feel and play our best. I try to share useful information here on my channel, but no video series, however detailed, can replace the one-on-one give and take of direct work. The last reason it's so difficult to recover alone is that, by definition, when we're still in recovery, our perception is often distorted in various ways. So we may think that we understand something cognitively, but our body may be telling a different story. Our sensation and proprioception, that is, the ability to perceive our bodies in space, are also often pretty far out of whack. And maybe most painfully, without having been through the experience already, we have no way of knowing where we are in it, whether we're making any progress, and what lies ahead. We can easily lose faith, as I did many, many times, because we simply can't see from where we are that this dark forest we're lost in does have an end, and that we are moving toward it, however slowly it may seem. So these are just some of the reasons why recovering completely from musician's vocal dystonia by yourself is so hard. The good news is you don't have to. With the right support from someone who understands the mechanics of truly healthy, physically and cognitively logical movement for your instrument, recovery is absolutely possible, and it's a lot better than struggling alone. If you're a string player and you're interested in one-on-one work, I invite you to contact me via my website, www.noracrone.com. And if you want to know more about the technical approach to playing that enabled my recovery, you can check out the TIL project, which I will link to down below. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.